All right, and we are back with a new episode of Real in the Field, coming off a hot week of entertainment and news and sports.
That's right.
Yeah, OJ is dead. I mean, that's the big headline.
The juice.
Just come straight out with it.
The juice is
They've been squeezed.
it's been squeezed. He's done, man. He's out.
Yeah.
And couldn't happen to a better guy.
I guess, justice has been served. 20 whatever years later, or however many years it's been. It's. I think it's one of those everybody knows where they were at watching like
Yes.
that whole chase. I don't even know how old we were. What, 8, 9 at the time?
I just remember coming home every day after school.
Yeah.
And that trial being on.
Yeah.
And not really like understanding what was going on,
Yeah.
but just knowing that like this trial was going on, watching the chase,
Yeah.
but not fully understanding.
Yeah, it was, you knew that it was something big going on, but you couldn't just grasp the gravity of it. I mean, now in hindsight, we all know it's just been something that's been talked about for years and for good reason. I mean, a murder got let off the hook. And I think,
They never found who it was.
yeah, oh yeah.
Never found it.
Yeah, that bloody glove that didn't fit after.
Let me try this on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, some of the best acting that I've ever seen. It didn't fit. What do you want me to do? Mind you, he's got a latex glove on. The leather glove has been sitting in blood and dried up for, however long. And I think he would struggle to get that on
Yes.
in the best of circumstances, let alone like after it's been, sitting around for that long.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only good part about it all would be that the victims' families now are finally like, that dude's out of here. Like, that's the only thing I could think of.
That's the only thing. I mean, everybody knows everybody just knows and accepted that he did it.
Yeah.
And that's the only, I guess, everybody can now just kind of be, relieved that he's gone. I think the one thing that people, we all kind of course, he did it. Everyone's like, can kind of talk about how he's guilty for doing it. But the thing that people don't talk about, and I feel like this is the thing that gets lost all the time, is he didn't acquit himself of that murder. The jury did.
Right.
The jury should be the ones to feel the wrath of everyone. Everyone's always kind of given OJ, for good reason, and they should, because
Right,
he did
'cause
something.
he did it.
But
yes, I do understand
the
what
part
you're saying.
that
Yeah.
where like that I feel like gets lost.
Pointing the blame.
The blame should be solely on the people who were on that jury who decided that they were going to absolve this man of this horrific crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that, not to take away any of the ire from OJ, like he deserves all of it, obviously, but he's not the one that decided that he was innocent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally, I see where you're coming from for sure. And then the guy's got the balls to write a book
Yeah.
that says, if
I
I were to do it, or if I did it,
Yeah.
this is how I would have done it. That's
Yeah.
like straight up goat status to like
Yeah.
to call it out
It
right in front of
is.
everybody.
I mean, that is like a level of arrogance and just the reality is,
that's like psychopath
it is
type behavior, yeah.
But it's also like he knows that, the way that the laws are, you can't be charged for that same crime twice. So essentially, that once that verdict was read, that's it. There ain't no coming back. He could literally come out and say that very next day, I did do it, which essentially he did in that book. If I did it, that was just like a huge middle finger to the entire process and to the Goldman family and everybody else. And so see, like that book, it's like, he could come out with that book and still nothing could happen because he's not going to get charged for that murder. He was cleared of it, by a jury of his peers.
I will give OJ a little bit of credit. He was great in the Naked Gun movies as Nordberg. I'm just saying. The Bronco is still around.
Oh, is it?
It's there's talk that it's going to go up for auction.
Yeah,
and for like 1.5 mil.
Oh, people are so weird, and I'm sure it'll get that too.
Somebody
will pay for that. Just for the attention, or just people have like a morbid like curiosity for things like that, you know,
Yeah.
for murder. I don't know what it is, what grasps people's attention when it comes to murder and all of that, like kind of, you know, weird stuff, the whole thing. That's why everybody was glued to their TV screen to watch this whole thing unfold, you know?
I think it's because it's like the end,
Yeah.
you know, and everyone has an end.
Yeah.
And so when you like talk about the end,
We're watching it like
or
play
yeah,
out.
you're like, wow, that's that person's end.
Yeah.
Like what's mine or what's theirs. And I think there's something to that.
Something.
Yeah.
It's some kind of whatever that is. It makes people curious and like interested in that. Like I'm sure you've heard of people listening to like the murder podcasts,
Yes.
and, like murder mystery shows, and all the Snapped and Forensic Files and all this like stuff. It's pretty crazy.
I personally don't get it, but I could see where some people get
Right.
wrapped up in it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all that to say that he's gone.
Laters, juice. Let's
Good
move.
riddance, and you know, I hope that, like you had said, like all the families that were involved in that could kind of now just, I don't know, take some solace in knowing that guy's gone, and you know, hopefully that's the end of it, and hopefully, you know, they can just kind of move on now, because horrible thing.
Yeah.
But on a lighter note. What other injustices are there?
Well, I wouldn't say it's an injustice, but Ohtani's guy,
Oh yeah,
Ipe, we talked about it here, and we weren't sure. The whole story wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
No one really knew what was going on. Ohtani was like, whoa, take backs, not me. So the investigation went through.
Okay.
Ipe, that old chestnut, he had 19,000 wagers.
That I feel like that's something to be accomplished in itself. 19,000.
None of them, however, were on baseball. This is what the findings were.
I mean, that's
after
very impressive.
like the full blown investigation.
Yeah.
His average bet was $12,800.
Jesus.
His winning bets a grand total of $142 million.
I mean, that's nothing to scoff
What
at.
a guy!
That's,
What a guy!
Yeah.
He's picking the right horses. Losing bets, however, $182 million.
Okay, well, that's where they get you.
Right. So the total losses, $40 million. Never on baseball. Ohtani not involved at all. Ohtani's been completely cleared of everything. I don't know how the bookie stuff works.
Yeah.
But if I were a bookie and a guy keeps placing bets, like he's got to be able to pay that eventually, right?
Yeah.
So why, like, say he's losing and he's like, hey, spot me this or spot me that. Like,
Right.
eventually you're going to want your money.
Yeah, I mean,
You would think, right?
Yeah. But what are you floating though? Because if you're just floating a loss and this guy keeps on, like I mean, just think of it this way. If we like flipped a coin right now and I said, hey, heads or tails, I'll bet, you know, you say you want to bet $100 on tails and it comes up heads and you lost, now you owe me $100. There's nothing that I have to physically have kept on my books to say that, oh, I have to have this money. I can just let you keep on going indefinitely and keep digging yourself a hole because it doesn't cost me anything.
Right. But eventually, though, you're going to want. So, like, I'm going to let you dig your hole as long as I know eventually you can pay up. So here's a theory. Call me crazy.
Okay.
That old Ipe just kept, you know, getting the, what do they call it? The juice, the loans, or whatever they call it, right?
Yeah, getting floated.
Yeah, getting floated. And then the guy was like, are you sure you can pay this? And he goes, I got it.
Yeah.
Ohtani here.
He's got a whole money bags over here.
He's got me.
Yeah.
That's how I think it might have played out.
And
so that's why the guy was like, okay, here you go again.
Yeah, but what? Okay, but you do at some point, probably need some kind of confirmation that this bet is going to be covered by, you know, by your boy over here.
You watch him on TV and he's hanging out with Ohtani. That's got to be enough, right?
I mean, okay, so in the end, even if he couldn't cover his bet, like he stands to, like, there's nothing he stands to lose. He being the bookie,
Right.
has nothing to lose in letting this guy hang himself and bury himself. In the end, either Ohtani's going to pay the bet or he's going to maybe get some merchandise from him. You know, hey, maybe Ipe? How do you say that? Ipe goes to Ohtani and says, hey, my cousin wants this baseball signed. Do you mind?
What's your
signing
cousin's
this?
name? Don't worry about it.
Yeah. What's his name? Well, the Lakers on the under. One word. So I would imagine, like, maybe he just thought, okay, at minimum, I'll get some merchandise, or I'll get some tickets, and I'll recoup my money somehow. Because, I mean, look, if he's starting out at a deficit and he has some ground to make up and he's always coming up like kind of short, like at a certain point, yeah, you're going to have to, it doesn't cost him anything just to kind of let this guy keep going.
Right. I get it. But eventually you're going to want to cash in on your 40 mil.
40 mil. That, okay. That's
right.
That's
You see what I'm saying though?
Right,
like,
yeah.
Eventually you're going to want.
Well, I would like to see at what point he broke even or he was up and he was down.
Yeah.
Because imagine
the flow chart. I want to see the flow chart.
Imagine he started off and said, hey, I want to make a $140 million bet on this, and then lost, and then he's always working he's always on the 8 ball, you know?
Yeah, no, I know. That would be like super interesting. I guess the investigation was just started on just illegal betting and stuff, and they happened to come across this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they weren't like seeking it out. They came across it and were like, whoa, wait, like this guy, Ohtani, this guy, boom. And then the whole like thing started.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So talk about just
the bad luck.
Yeah, bad luck. So 40 mil worth of bad luck, but yeah. But moving on from that, speaking of baseball, have you heard about all these pitchers getting hurt?
Yeah, that's like a big thing. That's
they're all getting the Tommy John, the surgery and stuff. Like all these dudes are getting hurt.
Yeah.
They're all blaming the pitch clock, which was put in effect. What was that, last year?
Yeah.
They're all blaming the pitch clock.
I mean, if you're having to rush and like get like you're not going through your normal motion and you're having to rush things and you're just, I mean, it kind of throws you out of rhythm a little bit. I can see that being like a thing.
Yeah. Some of the pitchers are blaming the balls.
Okay.
They're saying the balls are different. Grip, whatever, the balls are juiced, all that stuff. Like they're not liking the balls. What's
changed though? What's changed with the ball? Because from what I know, it's been the same guy out in like Louisiana that's been like digging up mud out of the backyard or out of the bayou somewhere.
And every couple of years, they always say, "Oh, they changed the balls. The balls are juiced, so the batters like can hit the ball better or whatever." There's always like talks about that.
Yeah,
I don't know the details of the actual like physical changes.
Sure, yeah.
But pitchers are complaining about that. They're complaining about the pitch clock. I have my own theories.
All right,
of why these dudes are getting hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, all these dudes are growing up and they're all just playing one sport. Okay, they're all playing baseball.
Oh yeah,
right. And most of them are like, once you figure out you're a pitcher, like you're a pitcher. That's what you do.
That's it. Yeah.
Right, dude. You only have so many bullets in this thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like you really do.
No, that
right. You know what I mean? Like, and what is the new flashy thing? Dude, if you throw gas and you throw 100, right, and you blow up on social media and you do all this stuff,
right?
Like, dude, the days of like Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, all those guys like hitting spots, maybe
Jared Weaver,
dude, maybe you throw 89 here and maybe you crank it up to like a 93 every once in a while or whatever, right, and hit spots.
Oh, dude, Jared Weaver was throwing at most 88,
right,
at the end of his career, but still striking dudes out from placement.
Exactly, placement, change up the pitches. Yeah. And like I heard Tom Glavine, the old pitcher, talk the other day, and he was talking about how like he was like, I could hit 93, 94 when I wanted to.
Right.
But I wouldn't do it every freaking pitch I was trying to do.
Yeah.
He was like, I would take a little off. I would do this. I would do that. I would adjust.
Yeah.
And he's like, these guys today are just like trying to throw gas. Yeah. And they're trying to spin the ball as hard as they can.
Yeah. Get some movement on it.
I think it's an accumulation of pitch clock, balls, like wear and tear on the arm.
I mean, if you
stop
think
trying
about
to impress everyone,
just like if you have like a finite amount of or miles, like miles on your engine,
exactly,
you know,
exactly.
Toyota Tacoma, if you're the green monster,
That's right.
your old man's
He knows.
Toyota.
Knows. Yes.
But yeah, if you're a Toyota Tacoma, you can go for, almost 1 million miles and be all right. But if you're I don't know, what's a shitty car?
I don't know. Like an old
Nissan Frontier.
Yeah, there you go.
You got a finite amount of miles, and once you hit that like maximum amount, and
Yeah.
maybe it's dudes are just there's some dudes that crap out a little bit sooner than others.
Yeah.
And when you put that, when you're like you're saying, you're putting those hard miles on it early on when you're in your young career, and just trying to throw gas and make a name for yourself. Yeah, you're burning yourself out.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of my 2 cents on that.
Yeah.
So that's been going on.
But I mean, the pitch count or the pitch clock does make sense that it's getting people to
Less rest time in between your pitches.
Yeah, less rest. I mean, there's got to be something to that. I mean, think about like when you do a rep when you're working out, right?
Sure.
You're doing bench press, you do 5, you set it up. If you immediately get back on it and go another 5, you don't have that much in you.
Yes.
You need a little bit of that rest time to like get
Yeah,
back
you need your
and
body
gather.
to recover.
Yeah,
For sure.
And even if it's just a minute longer, that could be the difference between your body resting and being able to, just kind of give yourself more power. And so if you think about like the pitch count being hurried up, now you have to get on it. Your body doesn't have enough time to rest, and now you're throwing your arm out because you're having to throw with force that you're working against your muscles in a sense, and just having to put it up without any rest in between.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a combination of all that stuff.
Yeah, accumulation of all that stuff. I think baseball's gotten better because of the pitch clock. Like the games are better, more, faster and all that stuff.
For sure.
So I think the fans have appreciated that. But if it's going to hurt like the players, then they need to make a change.
There's got to
maybe make the clock a little bit longer. Or
throw
something.
an extra 10 seconds on there and see if that makes a difference. I mean, I think it's good. It's all done with like good intentions, but it's the unintended consequence of doing something like that. I mean, that's putting things into practice and seeing it like once it plays out in the real world, everything is like different. You know what I mean? It changes things. I mean, that can be said about like
anything.
Laws, politics, and all that. It's all good on paper, and it's good being done for the right reason to hurry up the game and keep people, engaged and to, speed the game up and make it more exciting. But if the unintended consequence of that is more injury, like then either do away with it or modify it, extend it. Because nobody wants to see your top guy, your ace go out because of this thing, because of a pitch clock.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So there's that. The very last thing I got on our list, never in a million years would I think we would talk about this.
Yeah.
Never in a million years would I think I would watch.
Pickleball.
No pickleball.
Badminton.
I watched, and I was like diehard, religiously watching the female NCAA basketball.
Oh yeah, the Hawk.
I like absolutely fell in love with the hype of Caitlin Clark. The gals from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Dude, the Final Four, LSU, like all of it.
Riveting, man. It was some storybook
awesome
stuff.
The WNBA draft happened this week. Caitlin Clark went number 1 to Indiana. Her jerseys sold out in an hour.
Jesus.
So they're saying like this is the time for the WNBA to like finally do it. Like finally like take that next step.
Yes, that's always been the missing link. And every time there's an argument about what women get paid compared to what men get paid, I've always been in the camp where it doesn't matter. It has like it's not about the women or men or whatever. It's about just capturing an audience. That's basically what it comes down to.
You need those
eyeballs. You need eyeballs.
You need those, yes.
You need eyeballs for advertisement. Advertisement brings in revenue. Revenue gets generated, or should, in theory, get sent out to the players. And if you can bring a product to the court that's going to draw eyeballs, like Caitlin Clark has, that she is like captivating. That whole the whole series has been it's been crazy to see just like
Yeah.
people who like you who've never, and myself, never watched women's basketball or let alone, I mean, never watched WNBA, let alone college basketball.
I watched the freaking draft, the WNBA draft.
Yeah.
If you were to tell me that 5 years ago, I'd be like, you're out of your mind. I will never do that.
But that just goes to show you it
Yes.
has nothing to do with it being female or whatever. It's just putting a good product out there.
Yes.
And having something that captivates an audience to get them to like tune in and lock in. And now maybe you'll buy a Gatorade because you saw a commercial.
They finally now have, yes, Caitlin Clark's a star, but they have other players who you can recognize a face, but also you can take them. They had this rivalry in college. Now they're in the pros. Now they got drafted here. They got drafted there. Now they have storylines.
Yeah.
You can take those storylines and you can run with them. You can develop those storylines.
Oh, dude, that's what NFL has.
Dude, this is their time. Like, they can do it.
Yeah.
If they screw it up,
shame
like
on
this
them
might,
if they do.
this might be their one opportunity to really break into the mainstream.
For sure. I think it's been kind of a long time coming. I think there has been. I mean, look, there's no shortage of people who enjoy watching sports. And anytime you see, like, that's the thing that we get most involved in. It's like we've said it before. It's like a telenovela or a drama that's taking place on the field or on the court or on the field, baseball field, football field, whatever. And like MMA, all those things, like there's a storyline there. And that's a lot of what we buy into and what we're looking at is the storyline, the drama, all the, Matthew Stafford, leaving Detroit, that whole thing. Yeah. That was one of the most watched games partly because of that reason. Now with this, to your point, now you're going to have like history there. Those two teams battling it out. Caitlin Clark going one team, and I forget who the superstar was on the other team.
Yeah.
Angel you knew it. Yeah. Now you're the go-to.
No, but there was like really good players in the draft for them for the WNBA, and like, dude, this is their moment if they really want to cash in.
Yeah.
And become mainstream, become relevant, and really push female sports like. Dude,
it's been a long time coming.
Now,
and hopefully they do capitalize on this and take all the momentum that they've got. And I mean, when you're selling jerseys like that, that's crazy. That's just like there's something special there. She's a special player to watch, and her outfit at the WNBA was on point. She had a Prada bag and her glasses. She had some.
I saw the glasses.
Yeah, she had some. She was a stud. I mean, that was off the court, but on the court too, she's a stud.
Yeah. So hopefully they can do it, and good for them. Good for the WNBA.
Yeah,
they got a good opportunity headed their way.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they capitalize on that. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back after this.
This episode is brought to you by Cigar Spots. Cigar Spots is located in the Circle of Orange.
Yeah, they have all your big brands like Fuente, Padron, Tatuaje, Ilusión. I mean, they've got pretty much every brand that you can imagine. My favorite, my go-to is always the Tatuaje brand. I like the specific 2012 Sumatra. That's my smoke. What do you got?
Nice. I've been going with the Tatuaje Red Label.
Yeah, Red Label's good. So they do at-home delivery. You can place your order online, and they'll deliver your cigars straight to your house. Or you can order for pickup. You can actually order online, and then they'll have it ready for you. You can just swing in, put some hazards on, and go and pick up your cigars and be done.
And don't forget the promo code.
Promo code Tony Joe when you check out, and get yourself 20% off your order. So visit cigarspots.com and use that promo code Tony Joe. All right, and we are back from break. All right, J. Mitch, what do we got this week?
All right, we're going to play a game. We've played this before, but we got a brand new batch of Would You Rather.
Ooh, all right.
Would you rather? Love this one.
All right.
Here we go.
Let's hear it.
Have a roommate that snored or a roommate that sleepwalks?
Oh. All right, if you got a wall separating you, like how much are you going to hear? You're not going to get like... one, you can put on like some headphones or something like that, but sleepwalking, That's like, you don't know what that person's going to do in that moment, like when they're walking around.
Very true.
Like, what if they walk out in the middle of the street, and you got to go and you got to go and you got an alarm on your door, and every other night you have to go out and go drag them back inside.
True.
You can put on a white noise machine or put in some headphones and,
So we're going to snore.
I would rather live with someone who snores than sleepwalks. That just sounds terrifying.
Yeah. I'm
because
with you.
imagine
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Imagine if you're just up, like, that person goes to sleep, or this is you and I, and you're a sleepwalker. I'm like watching TV in the living room or something. All of a sudden you come out and you got a like glazed over look, and who knows what you're going to do?
That's true.
You know jujitsu. I don't. So now what? Now I got to fight you because you're in some daze, And then are you supposed to wake them up? They say you're not supposed to.
I think the latest studies have told. Or you just kind of just steer them back to. I think you just steer them back into bed.
But what's the whole thing about not waking them up?
I don't know. I think that's like urban legend stuff.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know. And what am I going to do? I don't know the rules.
If someone snores, I know what to do. They're snoring. Just
throw some earplugs in. Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, we'll go with snore. All right. Would you rather sneeze nonstop or hiccup nonstop?
This is funny.
That'd be absolutely miserable. Because I know sometimes when I drink certain things or eat certain things,
I like garlic.
The hiccups super bad. And those could get so annoying.
Those are, But no, for sure. But hold on.
But sneezing nonstop is like ridiculous.
No. It's totally going to be sneezing. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Well, because they said that's like when you sneeze, that's the closest feeling that you can have to like climaxing.
Jesus Christ.
What do you mean, Jesus Christ? You gonna tell me you're gonna like infinite amount of like sneezes? You're gonna be edging
a sneeze when your eyes are like when you're doing that. You're doing that part.
The foreplay.
No, thank you. I mean, both of those suck.
Hiccups I think are way worse though. Just that's just not a fun thing.
Yeah.
Because you're like it's the anticipation of the next one, and all the while you're just hoping that it goes away. And you're feeling like, is this it? Is this going to be the last one? Is this it? And then you get like a little lull, and then it comes back, and it's just disappointment.
Yeah, you just hit the reset button.
Yeah, at least with a sneeze, you get a little excitement, get a little action off of it.
Okay,
have you not heard that?
I literally have never heard that before.
All right,
ever.
Look it up. It is the closest. If you were to take
how are those?
If you were going to take this
even
thing
remotely the same,
I'm telling you, you have to look it up.
Okay.
If you were to take the whatever happens neurologically when you do this, and physically when this thing happens, when you climax, and then take all of the other responses that you have, and try to, if you were to match them up, and if this was like you were doing like you had your brain on a scan or whatever, if you coughed, nothing. If you, I don't know, whatever the responses are.
And the sneeze is the closest one.
The sneeze is the closest that it comes to, if it were like on a scale.
Pun intended right there. Thank you.
So yeah. Sneezing.
All right, sneezing. Next one. Have unlimited time or unlimited money?
Oh, time for sure. Time. I mean, are we talking about unlimited, like infinite, like never?
I guess.
It never goes away?
Unlimited time or unlimited money? I'm going to go money.
Yeah, I mean, but
because if your time is unlimited, that doesn't mean everyone else's time is unlimited.
All right,
so
fair.
Their time's going to run out, and then you're just going to be stuck here with time? No. Get the money, and then have a great time. That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
You like that?
Did you stay up all night thinking about that?
I just came up with that right there. Nice. You like that? I'm going money.
All right, I hear you. I guess I would just need to know, like, are you talking about, like, vampire, like, live for, 1,000 years? Because at that point, you could, if you're going to live that long, you could figure out how to make more money, You can like put money in like a CD or something and like an account, just let it accumulate.
I mean, it's up to you, I guess.
I'll just go money. Jesus.
Thank you. Next one. Learn one secret from the far future or from the far past.
Oh, future for sure.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
me too, future.
But like, what if it was like just one word? Like you can only get one word out from your future self. And it was like, this one word is going to be like, set you up for something. And you just have to decipher it. I mean,
No, that would be torture. You'd be like trying to figure it out the whole time.
Yeah, but what if it was like imagine like we were in like junior high or something and your future self came back and was like, Amazon. And you're like, what? And then it's like this thing, and then so you buy like Amazon stock, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that would have been
Okay, maybe like 5 words because that's like 2.
buy Amazon.
Yes, 3 words, buy Amazon stock.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I would like to like know some things from the past though also.
Dude, going back to when it all started, big bang.
Yeah, and just kind of see how that all happened.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick, I would say something from the future would
Future,
be.
yeah.
Next one, run out of clean socks or run out of clean underwear.
Probably run out of clean underwear. I feel like socks are just so much more, like you can feel like socks way more.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think undies because then things get.
Yeah, but you can throw some like talcum powder or something and just kind of move on.
See, I think socks, you could wear them inside out. Like, you know what I mean? I think you can make socks. I think you can make socks go longer than you can undies.
But I think, okay, so they're like, think about the feeling of like a good, clean pair of socks when you put them on. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a good, nice feeling. Undies, like I feel like undies are just like the
Dime a dozen.
unsung hero of the undergarment. You know what I mean? Like, okay, put it this way. If you had a pair of undies that had like a bunch of holes in it, would you even notice when you're wearing them?
Actually wore a pair today. I put my leg up. I was in the weight room. I put my leg up on the box to stretch. I was like, oh man, my hamstring's kind of tight. And I kind of like, I did one of those where you like grab your hamstring. And I was like, I got a hole in my Under Armour right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, didn't even notice.
But if you had a hole in your, like the heel of your sock, all you would be thinking about all day is that little patch that's
I'm going to get
touching.
a blister.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 I would still pick socks though, because I can make it work. I can make it work.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'd rather. Wait, what was the question? Reuse?
Run out of.
Yeah. I mean, because I don't think that I would ever wear the same pair, like the socks. I wouldn't wear a pair of socks 2 days in a row. Never.
Would you wear a pair of undies 2 days in a row?
I mean, yeah, if I had to.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's been times where you just like, you know, you go to sleep in your undies and you get up the next day and you kind of start your day and, you know. But with socks, if I'm like cutting the grass or something, those socks are coming off and I'm putting on a fresh set then and there.
Yes.
You can cut the grass in your undies, go out, have like a iced tea, and then just go back to whatever business you were doing.
You drink iced tea.
I mean, not me. Like, it just sounds like a thing to do when it's like hot outside. You come back and have an iced tea.
I hear you.
All right, Coors Light. How about that?
All right. Well, I mean, I would rather run out of socks.
Yeah.
Because I want to keep my undies. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right. Would you rather spend a day in a room with a broken air conditioner or a broken heater?
I know for some people it's like automatic, like, oh yeah, AC all the way.
Dude, I would rather be freezing cold and bundle up.
Yeah.
Like cold, heater doesn't work. Dude, when you are hot, it is so miserable.
It
is so
adjust
miserable
to that.
Dude, our first place, we in our little house on Washington, we had no AC. We had one little wall unit in our bedroom.
Oh, dude, you're so right. That is miserable.
Sucked.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't think, you can't sleep, you can't do anything.
Sleeping is the worst because like you're like
sweating.
You're sweating and like the bed is like
the sheets
just soaking it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you roll over and you touch the person sitting next to you. You're like, oh my God, you're hot. Like, don't touch me.
Just the heat emanating from that other person.
So I would take a broken heater. I can bundle up. I need that AC on.
I'm with you. Yeah,
Okay.
it is. I think we've all lived like when I lived out in LA, I had an apartment in Santa Monica, and it was even in like it was like near the beach, and you get some breeze, but on a really hot day, there's no bringing down the temperature.
And you can't escape it.
You cannot escape it. Every room in that house is hot unless you have central air, which no place in Santa Monica has central air or any kind of air conditioning.
Yeah.
I'm with you for sure.
Okay.
I would rather have the heater go down because you can actually kind of feel good. You can like,
dude, move around a little bit, throw a couple sweatshirts on,
put a fire on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do some squats, some jumping jacks.
Put on,
right.
Put on an extra pair of socks.
Or undies.
Or undies.
Yeah, dude, you'll be all right. All right, here we go. Would you rather have a nosy neighbor or a noisy neighbor? Like they're loud.
Oh.
Someone who creeps on your stuff or someone who is loud?
It's got to be a nosy neighbor, because a noisy neighbor, if you got somebody who's just like constantly like playing loud music or banging on things, or out there with like a chop saw just going at it, that it is like one of the most annoying things. Like apartment living, like we're talking about, when I used to live in an apartment, if you had like somebody who was just like, I don't know, that just played loud music, it was like it's like the worst. Like you're just constantly bothered by that, and it doesn't go away. And if it's like, at least with a nosy neighbor, you can shut your door, close your blinds, and just like not hear from them.
I'm with you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you on that. The nosy neighbor is fine.
And a nosy neighbor at least is going to look after your stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
They just want the chisme. They want to know what's going on.
Totally.
Like, dude, that's fine. I'd
They
rather
want to
have
be
that.
in it, and they want to, like, if you got something, if you forget to like put out the trash can, they're likely going to go and get it, go into your place and go like pull it out.
Or, hey, I'm leaving for the weekend. I left this light on. Can you just watch the house?
Dude,
oh, I got you.
Dude. Oh, I just thought you should know. The mailman came, and they'll take your package. They'll bring it like as soon as it's dropped off on the porch. They're picking it up, putting it in their house.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to ask you all about what you got in there, but still, your stuff will be secure.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Next one. Would you rather be invisible or recognized everywhere you go?
Oh, invisible, 100%. Yeah,
I think I would too.
Yeah,
I mean, be a fly on the wall.
Fly on the wall everywhere. I think that's one of the most, like, the worst things about being like a celebrity. Well, I mean, what I would assume, because
it'd be cool for a little bit though. Like you go somewhere and everyone would be like, oh hey, like,
yeah.
That it would be cool for maybe like a couple months.
I bet.
But after that, you'd be like,
I bet you if you asked like an actor. Well, even like Mike Walters, when he was in here and he was saying like it was cool to get recognized, and people saying like, I come home from work and I watch your show and I do this job and it makes me like, I have a horrible, like, he's a first responder. That's gotta feel good. That's gotta feel good for sure to know that
we have people tell us about this and we're like,
oh dude, it's like, super flattering.
Hey, that's cool. Like, hey, you actually like listen to what we like talk about. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine we walk into a restaurant and everyone's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I would be okay.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Just once.
Give me like 6 months of it.
6 months? That's a long time.
Bro, you gotta soak it in. And then go invisible after that.
And then go straight, nobody knows who I am, fly on the wall. So invisible, I mean, that is like a level of freedom that you don't have, because we're all like conscious of how we look and like, how we walk around, and like how you walk into like a grocery store. Dude, sometimes you walk in a grocery store and you're just like, if you're wearing like, not pajamas, but if you're wearing like some kind of like sweats or something, you don't want to run into somebody.
You didn't dull it. Yeah.
Dude, I ran into you actually in the circle the other day, and I was wearing some.
You did.
My hair wasn't done. I was getting some beignets.
Looking like $1 million.
It was like $250,000.
Yes, I agree. Recognize for a little bit, and then let's go invisible.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Would you rather help a friend move or babysit for a family member?
Oh, help. that's a kind of a weird one because you can't come out right and be like, oh, I'd love to babysit. It's like, okay, well, we caught you. And yeah,
The jig is up.
The jig is up. That was bait.
But moving's not bad. I mean,
Dude,
I've helped you move before, and you've helped me do stuff before,
yeah.
so it's like it's no big deal.
This is like might be. I'm sure people will be like, "Oh, that's just ridiculous." But dude, there's something kind of fun about like moving and like having your buddies like, around and just kind of like starting this new thing wherever you're gonna go and moving from taking your crap from one place and moving your crap into another.
Yeah,
it's like there's all the excitement of where things are gonna go and it can be kind of fun. I know it's like it's a hassle and you got to spend a whole day. But dude, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I would definitely pick move rather than babysit someone else's kid.
And I don't not like other people's kids. You know what I mean? Like if you ever asked me to, watch your kids, I'd be stoked to do it. And I'm sure I'd have fun, but it's not like something I'm like looking forward to doing.
Yeah, that's right. Don't be excited for that. Okay.
Yeah, your head can't shoot up when it's like, hey, we need a babysitter. I'm like, I'll do it. Like, no.
I got nothing going on that night. I'm good. I'm ready. Okay. Would you rather have a bottomless bank account or be able to eat whatever you want without gaining weight?
Oh
my gosh.
What? Like, how's that even a question? At bottomless bank account.
Oh, man.
Would you would rather be able to eat anything and not... Dude, work out or who gives a shit? You're just going to be fat. Who cares? We already do that as it is.
Oh, man. But, dude, eat whatever you want without...
I mean, what would be your, like, what would you eat? But, okay,
would that... Go crazy but here's every day, eat whatever you wanted?
But not be... Okay, but you still have to worry about cholesterol. You still have to worry about, like, I don't know, your sodium intake. Like, you're talking about with zero consequence at all?
Yeah, let's say zero consequence. Not just like the gaining weight, but like...
But it's got to be like eat and like drink. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to...
I think that falls under the same category.
If you can eat... Okay, if you can drink without like drink... And
drink what?
Well, like a Coors Light or like a whiskey or old fashioned or something. You know what I would like above all of that is like if you can just drink like continuously and not get like super hammered. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you were just like, I can drink all night and just have like a 3-beer buzz or like a 4-beer buzz.
I got you, yeah.
But still partake and still like enjoy like a beverage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the bank account, the bottomless bank account, I mean, I don't...
How do you even compare?
Yeah.
That is like...
You're right.
You could buy a personal trainer. You could pay for liposuction.
Yeah, that's true.
You could, pay to have someone else's organs harvested and replace them if yours go out. If you got to like replace your liver, your heart goes bad, that all day long.
Bank account.
Yeah, I think that just kind of opens it up. With
that
100%.
Is the end of Would You Rather.
Dude, awesome. All right, that was a good game. All right, we're going to take another break.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be back after this. All right, this episode is brought to you by Pro West Electrical. Pro West Electrical is owned by our friend, who we went to high school with, Anthony Sabasco. He's got over 15 years of electrical experience. His company does panel replacement, do recessed lighting. They actually did all the electrical and the recessed lighting in my house. They do switches, EV chargers, Ring doorbell. They'll change a light bulb in your house if you want them to, if you pay them to.
That's right. And you can visit their website, prowestelectrical.net, or you give them a call, 714-306-1570.
Pro West Electrical, powering up your world. All right, and we are back from break. All right. So today, this question or this topic came up. I was actually talking to Lorenzo Calderon. We were talking about he's selling his house. He's got a house out in Texas. He bought on a VA loan way back when. He's now selling it, and he is talking about selling off his house and selling his mortgage with it and letting somebody else assume his VA loan. He got such a great rate back when he first purchased it that, that right now rates are so high that having a low interest rate is really it's a real like benefit. So he's a veteran. He's in the military currently, and he, like I said, he bought his house with a VA loan. Now it's not really well known, and there's kind of like a misconception. People think that you have to be a veteran in order to assume a VA loan. But that's not the case. You can actually be a civilian. You can be, if you wanted to buy his house, you could, and you could assume his loan and his low interest rate, even though you weren't served in the military.
You just have to be a veteran to get the loan.
Yeah, to originate it, to get a VA loan, you have to be in the military.
But I could take it over.
Yeah, you can assume it. Okay. And that would mean that you take over whatever that interest rate is, you would take over that loan at that interest rate. Now, you do have to, the whoever's servicing the loan has to okay it. It's not just like a done deal.
Right.
But it's not. It's something that people don't know that me as a civilian can take over a VA loan.
Yeah.
It could be a benefit. It could be a big selling point for your house. Now, Lorenzo is selling his house so he can market his house and say, I have a VA loan that can be assumable. Ask me how. And if you want to take on this like 2-3%, whatever it is that he's paying, it could be really something beneficial to whoever's going to buy that, because now they don't have to go out and shop a loan at 7%, 7.5%, which is what the rates are right now. And they can just take over that loan and pay a lot less in monthly payments.
Well, because say the person that is assuming the loan, right? So he's selling his house.
Yeah.
Lorenzo's selling his house. Knowing that he's kind of not like hooking up, but he's kind of hooking them up a little bit with like
with a good rate.
Kind of a good deal, right? Good rate and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Could he like adjust like his asking price?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more marketable, because when you can offer this thing to people that they can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, this is so low. Can he kind of like bump
for
up
sure.
Okay.
It's just a matter of the market and what the market is, wherever the area is. Like, let's just take that situation, bring it here to California. There's so few houses in California that, things like that, they make it more marketable, they make it more valuable, and people will pay a premium for that. Okay. And it's just like, if you're going to be, if you have a lower rate, that just means your monthly payment's going to be lower. That means that you can borrow more. So that does have an effect on it. Now, the home does, has to appraise for whatever it is that you're going to be purchasing it for. And it does have to go through that lender, and they have to, essentially you're just taking it over. You have to pay the equity to that person.
Okay.
That's the big kind of kicker too, is whatever that amount is, that is, between what is owed and what the sale price is, you do have to make up that equity and pay
now.
Them out.
Does Lorenzo, in this case Lorenzo, but in any of the cases with this VA loan, now do they have to do this?
No, not at all. I mean, you could just go the traditional route, just get your own loan.
Yeah.
That loan pays off, the mortgage, and, whatever proceeds are left go to the seller. Okay. So it's not at all. But you can do this with the VA loan, and you can do it with the FHA loan too. Those are the two that are assumable loans.
What's the difference between the FHA?
FHA is the Federal Housing Administration. Essentially, both of them are just a backing. It's kind of like somewhat, think of it as a kind of like cosigner, so to speak.
Oh, like Ohtani and Ipe.
Yeah, they're going to back his bet.
Oh, perfect.
So, the FHA in that situation is Ohtani, and the bettor and the gambler, the degenerate, is the borrower. So they will, Ohtani is essentially saying, hey, whatever this guy is trying to buy, I'm going to back his play, whatever he's going to purchase. There's, the FHA they have certain requirements to qualify for an FHA-backed loan. You have to be a first-time home buyer. You have to have certain, credit scores, and in some cases do some credit, like some classes and things like that, kind of like the 20% down program that we talked about.
So the FHA, if you have that, you can also, Or that's assumable.
That's assumable too.
Okay.
So let's say we'll rewind the hands of time and go back to a few years ago when interest rates were at 2.5%. Now, if I bought a house, I was a first-time home buyer. I got an FHA backed loan at 2.5%. You can take that loan, and so long as it's the not the lender specifically, because the way that lending works is there's an originator and then there's somebody who services the loan once it's been sold off. As long as the person or the company that's servicing the loan okays it and says, yes, good to go, you can pay, you can assume that loan, you can transfer that and to somebody else and sell the whole thing kind of as a package to another buyer. And you can still keep that 2.5% interest rate. That's one of the great things about FHA and VA loans is you keep that rate, and it can make, like kind of what you were saying, make it more marketable. And
yeah, so why isn't more of this like happening now? Since the rates right now are obviously out of control.
Yeah.
Like why is there not more of this, I guess?
I mean, the short answer is, if you have it at 2.5% interest rate, there's you're never going to get that rate ever again, likely.
So you're probably not.
So you're likely not going to sell it.
Yeah.
There's certain circumstances where you just, want to get rid of this house. In Lorenzo's case, he's already got a new house, and, this is just something that he has. So he's not really he doesn't really need it on his books. But, I mean, there's just, the reality is just, when you have a rate that low, you can rent it out and kind of make your money back in that. And because your rates are so low, and rents, can be so high that it just offsets whatever amount is that you're going to be, that you can just kind of cover your mortgage on that. But, every situation's different. It's not kind of common to sell, to sell off your mortgage or to let somebody assume it, because it is kind of there is kind of a kicker in some of this, which is like you're still liable for it until throughout the length of the loan. There's some specifics that kind of make it, not exactly like, this is like the best possible thing that you could do. And, you should check with your lender and check with your, with just your counsel to make sure that it's something that's right for you. Yeah. But it could be something that, could be a positive thing. If you're looking to sell your house and you have that FHA loan or that VA loan, and it doesn't have to just go to a vet. You can go to,
someone else. Yeah. That's cool.
So a little bit of information that I just want to give to people just in case they didn't know, and especially because it just came up in conversation and talking to Lorenzo about it. So, I think that's going to do it for this episode. We'll be back maybe next week with a new episode. In the meantime, like, subscribe. Thanks to Officer Blake Means for the theme music, and we'll catch you guys